And so today's decision, if anything, is LeBron James making it clear that he wants to go play his 24th and potentially 25th season in Philadelphia because he believes the Sixers have a better chance to win a championship. My phone is blowing up with people stunned about this decision for LeBron James because you look at that starting five, it's going to be as formidable, if not the most formidable five in the end.
The decision is finally here, and LeBron James choosing the Philadelphia 76ers has completely shaken the landscape of the Eastern Conference. This isn't just another free agency move. It changes the entire conversation around championship contenders. At first glance, the move might seem surprising, but when you look deeper, there are several reasons why this could be a much smarter decision than people realize. There is a question of why LeBron chose Philadelphia, how the pieces fit together, and what this means for the Sixers' true championship ceiling. Because this isn't just about reacting to a headline. It's about understanding what changed the moment when the greatest players in basketball history entered the picture. Before LeBron arrived, Philadelphia looked like a team stuck in the middle. Their season ended in disappointment after a second-round sweep by the Knicks, made even worse by watching New York fans celebrate inside their own building. The future didn't look much brighter. Joel Embiid and Paul George were tied to massive contracts, leaving the front office with limited options to reshape the roster. The formula seemed predictable. Another strong regular season, another battle with injuries, and another early playoff exit. Then everything shifted. The Sixers made a move that opened the door, sending Paul George to Boston in exchange for Jaylen Brown. And shortly after, LeBron James, the NBA's all-time leading scorer, four-time champion, 22-time All-Star, and 20-time All-NBA selection, made a decision that changed the entire Eastern Conference. He chose Philadelphia on a 2-year, $8 million deal. Taking the veteran minimum despite his legendary career, LeBron made his intentions clear, said he believed he could help turn the 76ers into a championship team and that he was excited for a new challenge and a new fan base. The move officially ended his 8-year chapter with the Lakers, a run that included a 2020 championship, a Western Conference Finals appearance, and an historic night. He passed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar to become the NBA's all-time leading scorer, and somehow, even entering his 24th NBA season, LeBron continues to perform at a level almost impossible for his age. Last season, while playing alongside Luka Doncic in a reduced role, he still averaged 20.9 points, 7.2 assists, and 6.1 rebounds per game while shooting 51.5% from the field. He also extended his remarkable streak of averaging at least 20 points in every season of his career. For LeBron, the decision came down to one simple question: where they had the best chance to compete for another championship. His answer was Philadelphia. At this stage of his career, the goal isn't about proving anything anymore. It's about having one more legitimate opportunity to chase a title. And LeBron believes the Sixers give him that chance. The timing of this move makes it even more surprising. In just over 2 months, Philadelphia completely transformed the direction of the franchise. After hiring Mike Gansey to lead basketball operations, the Sixers went from looking like a team trapped by its own limitations to one of the deepest and most talented rosters in the league. They had started with a 22nd pick, limited flexibility, and a future that felt uncertain. Somehow, they rebuilt the entire picture and then added the biggest piece nobody expected: LeBron James. So how did Philadelphia make it happen? They stayed aggressive, remained patient while waiting for the biggest moves to develop, and positioned themselves for the opportunity when it finally arrived. According to league sources, the deciding factor for LeBron was simple: the best possible chance to compete for another championship. That belief convinced him to accept a 2-year, $8 million contract with a player option for the second season, leaving significant money behind for one final title pursuit that on paper, the fit is obvious. A lineup featuring Tyrese Maxey, Joel Embiid, Jaylen Brown, VJ Edgecombe, and LeBron James has the potential to become one of the most dangerous offensive groups in basketball. Each player brings something different: scoring, playmaking, size, leadership, and versatility. More importantly, this roster is finally built to handle the moments when Embiid is unavailable. The rebuild happened step by step. Philadelphia started by adding defensive-minded depth pieces like Dean Wade, the type of move that rarely grabs headlines but strengthens a championship roster. Then came the blockbuster trade that changed everything, acquiring Jaylen Brown, and adding another all-NBA level talent next to Embiid and Maxey. The Sixers followed up by bringing in Anthony Simons for additional scoring and adding KCP on a 1-year, $3.9 million deal to provide shooting, defense, and championship experience. That KCP's addition may not have created the same headlines as LeBron's arrival, but it could become one of the most important moves. He's a proven playoff performer, a former champion alongside LeBron during the 2020 season, and exactly the type of reliable 3-and-D wing every contender needs. But the front office wasn't the only group making this happen. Reports suggest Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, and Jaylen Brown all played a role in recruiting LeBron, selling him on the idea that Philadelphia was ready to compete immediately. Once the Brown trade was complete, the Sixers believed they finally had the roster strong enough to make a serious push, and LeBron agreed. For Philadelphia, a moment like this carries a different weight. This is the type of move fans remember decades later. It's the kind of moment where people ask, where were you when LeBron James became a Sixer? Those moments have been rare in franchise history. The 1983 championship team led by Julius Erving, Moses Malone, and Maurice Cheeks remains the standard, dominating the league with a 65-win season and a perfect playoff run. Allen Iverson's 2001 Finals journey remains one of the most iconic stories in NBA history. And the 2019 Sixers represented one of the most talented teams of the Embiid era. Now, the 2026-27 Philadelphia 76ers have a chance to enter that same conversation, because what LeBron brings to Joel Embiid is more than another superstar. He brings something every championship team needs: margin for error. He gives Philadelphia another creator, another leader, and another player capable of carrying the team when the pressure reaches its highest point. Philadelphia is no longer a team whose entire future depends on whether Joel Embiid can survive a full postseason. This roster is deeper, more versatile, and much harder for opponents to prepare for. The biggest advantage is that the Sixers don't need a 41-year-old LeBron James carrying them through all 82 games. With Tyrese Maxey, Jaylen Brown, VJ Edgecombe, and Anthony Simons all capable of taking over stretches, Philadelphia can manage LeBron's minutes, preserve his energy, and make sure he is at his best when the games matter most. But the biggest difference LeBron brings isn't just scoring, it's his ability as a passer. For all the talent Philadelphia had before this move, creating consistent offense was a major weakness. The Sixers struggled to generate easy looks, ranking near the bottom of the league in assists. Meanwhile, teams built around LeBron have always benefited from his ability to control the pace, read defenses, and create opportunities for everyone on the floor. That's why his impact goes far beyond the numbers. For nearly his entire career, LeBron's playmaking and offensive influence have ranked among the very best in basketball history. Very few players can operate a half-court offense the way he can. That skill fits perfectly with Philadelphia's stars. Maxey is at his best when he's attacking, pushing the pace, and putting pressure on defenders, not when he's forced to manufacture every possession in isolation. Jaylen Brown, Joel Embiid, and Edgecombe can all make plays, but none of them forces a defense to react the way LeBron does. Give him shooters, cutters, and elite scorers around him, and he turns good possessions into great ones. That's exactly what Philadelphia has been missing. Instead of asking Maxey to create everything, LeBron allows him to focus on being a dominant scorer. Brown gets easier opportunities. Embiid sees fewer double teams and more space to operate. The entire offense becomes more unpredictable and dangerous, of course, making this work won't happen instantly. When you put Maxey, Brown, Embiid, and LeBron on the same roster, you have multiple stars who are used to controlling the game of the ball in their hands. Nick Nurse will have difficult rotation decisions, and someone will have to accept a different role. But if there is one superstar who has spent his entire career adapting, evolving, and adjusting his game to fit different teammates, it's LeBron James. His basketball IQ is among the greatest the sport has ever seen, and few players have reinvented their style as successfully over 2 decades. The real test won't come in the regular season. It will come in April, May, and potentially June. That's when LeBron has historically reached another level. Even as his athleticism has naturally changed, his ability to control playoff games remains elite. His experience, decision-making, and ability to impact every possession make him one of the most dangerous postseason players the league has ever seen. The road ahead is anything but easy, the New York Knicks remain one of the toughest teams in the Eastern Conference and enter the season as defending champions, the same team that eliminated Philadelphia and celebrated on their home court. And if the Sixers make it to finals, they could face powerhouse teams like Oklahoma City or San Antonio way in the West. The challenge is massive. But the difference this time is that Philadelphia isn't just hoping to survive, hoping to get healthy, or hoping for one player to perform a miracle. This version of the Sixers is built differently. They aren't asking LeBron James to carry them alone. They're giving him the kind of roster that could allow him to chase one more championship. Unlike his final seasons in Los Angeles, LeBron James would no longer have to be the engine powering every single possession. In Philadelphia, he isn't being asked to carry a team that depends entirely on him. Instead, he becomes a piece that raises the ceiling of an already talented roster. And if everything comes together, the Sixers could become the most dangerous team in the Eastern Conference. You also have to give LeBron credit for the choice itself. Philadelphia was the boldest option available, not just because it offered a legitimate championship opportunity, but because it came with the highest level of pressure. He chose a city with one of the most demanding fan bases in all of sports, a place that has been waiting more than 40 years for another NBA championship. Philadelphia doesn't celebrate potential. It demands results. And when those results don't come, the fans make their voices heard. This is a franchise carrying decades of heartbreak. The near misses involving Joel Embiid, Allen Iverson, Charles Barkley, and Julius Erving are still part of the city's basketball identity. Philly has seen superstar talent come through before, but weakness alone has never been enough that LeBron had easier options. A return to Cleveland would create a storybook ending, bringing him back near Akron with a talented roster featuring Donovan Mitchell and Evan Mobley. Miami also made plenty of sense, pairing him again with Eric Spoelstra and joining forces with championship-level core. But LeBron looked at every possibility and still chose Philadelphia, a place known for its intensity, expectations, and unforgiving standards. That's what makes this decision so fascinating. Every previous stop of LeBron's career has ended with a championship. Cleveland, Miami, Los Angeles. Now, the expectation is that Philadelphia becomes the next chapter, and that expectation is exactly what creates the pressure. There were legitimate questions about whether LeBron would even continue playing after his Lakers chapter ended. He had already proven he could still perform at an elite level, but the commitment required for another season, the training, recovery, travel, and daily preparation, was something he had to seriously consider. So he took his time, evaluated every option, and waited for the right situation. Once Philadelphia completed the Jaylen Brown trade, the opportunity became impossible to ignore. Whether LeBron knew immediately or reached a conclusion over time, he understood exactly what he was joining. A team with one of the highest ceilings in the league, but also one of the highest pressure environments if this works. If Philadelphia finally brings a championship parade back to Broad Street, LeBron adds a fifth ring and moves into another level of basketball history, matching legends like Magic Johnson, Kobe Bryant, and Tim Duncan with 5 championships. It would be an extraordinary final chapter to a career already considered among the greatest ever. And the reaction from the betting market showed just how much one move changed the perception of this team. Before the major offseason moves, Philadelphia entered the summer as a long shot. After acquiring Jaylen Brown, expectations started rising.